So we have just driven along the coast, and these coves look like little Cornish caves. Reminds me of home. But I told Nina to stop because in this field there's not only ostriches, right in the back there's bloody zebras. I was thinking, like, why are there zebras in Portugal? And then there's those huge bison cows. There's goats.
Oh, that doesn't mean it wants love, that means it's angry.
I just stomped its foot.
Buddy, you're scared.
Buddy, you're scared.
Your feet can't compare with them, buddy.
You're scared of an ostrich. You wouldn't even be able to outrun that ostrich, buddy. So we have made it to a beach called Praia de Bordia. So we have arrived at our next campsite. This one is much better than the last one, and we're just going to ride down to the beach and watch the sunset. I'm just going to show you the facilities at the campsite. They have a place to wash a surfboard, amazing. A place to wash your dog, which the dog is getting a wash. A place to dump your toilet. And then they have toilets and showers. All for £12 or €14. So I've come to this surf shop. I'm going to rent a surfboard tomorrow morning. And it's €22.50 for a surfboard and a wetsuit. And because the van's obviously parked at the campsite, the man said I can rent his car. But yeah, I've not taken him up on the offer. So the sun is just setting behind the clouds. We've cycled into Sagres, which is famous for surfing. There's about 20 surf shops here. So yeah, I'm going to come down tomorrow morning. The surf isn't that great, it's 2 to 3 foot, but I mean, I'm not that bothered because the thought of surfing in Portugal anyway in the winter terrifies me because the waves can go up to like 20 foot on the west coast, so yeah, I don't want to die. We have woken up and it is another gorgeous day, and I'm on my way into town to rent a surfboard. I've just returned my wetsuit and my surfboard, and I paid £25 for 3 hours. I now have to cycle back and my legs are in agony. This is one of the best parts of Vanlife. Laundry.
This is the bit I want to show you on Instagram.
This is the bit that people don't see. The dark side. We saved ourselves £4 and washed our clothes in here instead. If this still works. Oh yeah, it still works, wow. So we're getting ready to leave this campsite. Not only is it my birthday today, the 6th of December, it's also 2 weeks since we left the UK, and we still have another 2 and a bit weeks in Europe, and then another week in the north of the UK for Christmas. Nina's inside packing the van. I'm outside enjoying the sunshine since it's my birthday. And yeah, we're getting ready to leave.
They just can't see because of my angle.
They have a lot of stuff. We're in a China shop. Look how bad it is. We have come to one of our favourite places on the Algarve, and it's a town called Caviea. So this boardwalk is 600 metres and it runs all the way along the coast into the town of Caviea. So when we first came to Portugal,
we could camp along here.
we could camp along here, yeah. And what's happened now?
To be fair, it's because people used to piss and shit on the side, so...
People used to use everywhere as a toilet. There's an English car. So now, yeah, it's basically illegal to camp anywhere along this coast. Which is a shame, because I think...
You're not even supposed to drive up here.
Yeah, apparently we're not supposed to drive up here, but it's a shame because the small amount of people have ruined it for everyone. So we've now got two signs. One says beware of the dog, and the other says attention, dangerous dog. Are you ready to see the dangerous dog? There he is. Oh, that's funny. We just put these in the window, just like this, when we're staying in dodgy places, just to deter anyone from ever breaking in the van. So we've got a little bit of a dilemma. The campsite that we stayed in the other night, just outside of Lisbon, we charged the EcoFlow, and I left the charger for the EcoFlow plugged into the wall. So we phoned them and asked if they'd post it. They said they're not a postal service, so they're not going to post it. We're now trying to find out if the Portuguese postal service, which is called CTT, will post it to our friend's house in Spain. But they seem pretty reluctant to want to help us, and a new charger for the EcoFlow is £140. So last night we were supposed to stay in Albufeira, and we got to our campsite and it was full because you can't book, and then the campsite next to that was full. So we ended up driving to Faro, where we found a campsite near the beach, and they closed at 4 p.m. and the security guard couldn't let anyone in because in Portugal they have to take your documents like your passport and your address, and he said he wasn't able to do that. So we ended up in like airport parking. So this van next to me is parked here and they've gone to the airport, and the other van here is also parked and they've gone to the airport. Parking is €9 a night, and there's a little hut, and the lady, the owner, I can't remember her name, she's actually really nice, and she came back for us last night. So we phoned the number on the gate and she said she'd just left, so she came all the way back from home. She walked to meet us to let us in, and then next door it's just all the Portuguese hire cars that obviously people rent in the summer, and we're probably only 2 kilometers from the airport, and there's toilets, showers, wastewater disposal and fresh water, so it's basically an air. But yeah, there isn't really anything around here. You have to get like a bus into Faro, but for somewhere safe to sleep just outside the city, this is perfect. This is the first drive of a 2023 Fiat Ducato 2.2 140 brake horsepower. I had the joke, so
you can switch it off.
How you drive a Fiat Ducato 2.2 140 brake horsepower. Even though our van is only 6 meters, parking in supermarkets is still a little bit difficult. So whenever we come to a supermarket, we have to make sure that there's somewhere we can overhang the back of the van. And in this instance, it's overhanging into the bushes, but yeah, otherwise it sticks out in the road too much, because Portuguese parking bays are very short for some reason. I'm not sure why, because this is like a normal standard car and it only just fits in the bay. So yeah, the 6 meter van, like, we're still hanging over the front. We are heading towards our next campsite, which is just over the border between Portugal and Spain. So we are leaving Portugal and entering into Spain, which means that we are losing an hour. So our campsite is only an hour away. It's 12:30 and we're not due there until 2:30. And I don't think I'm ready to lose an hour, even though we gained an hour. But
this evening.
I'm looking forward to the light evenings.
Easy peasy Portuguese, it's very dark of a night.
Yeah, by 5:30 in Portugal it's dark, whereas in Spain now it's going to be like 6:30, so very much looking forward to that.
And I'm doing the driving as we cross from Portugal into Spain, which is a surprise.
Yeah.
Because usually you do most of the driving, don't you?
Usually I do all the driving, as everybody knows. I'm chief driver.
You're doing your first drive today from the parking bay to the water dump. That was it.
Yeah, but we have been on the road for 2 weeks, so
Yeah, that's quite impressive, I guess.
I think one drive. I drove for about 30 seconds in 2 weeks. And how long have you driven for?
Every day for 2 weeks.
Every single day for 2 weeks.
But then you do the navigating.
Probably about 2,000 miles you've driven.
And those people who do van life know that there has to be one navigator and one driver.
Yeah, and I am the best navigator.
Unless you're on
and
your own, and then I take my hat off to those people because, I couldn't.
And
too stressful.
I'm the best navigator and the best DJ.
Oh yeah, you're the DJ as well.
So we're now crossing the border from Portugal into Spain.
There goes our hour.
I'm about to lose an hour as well.
Hasta pronto.
So it's currently it's 1:15.
It'll be 2:15 when we go over the other side of the bridge.
And it'll be 2:15 when we cross the bridge. And this is the bridge that divides two countries. Goodbye, Portugal. I'm going to miss Portugal. It's been fun. The west coast of Portugal so far has been the highlight of this whole trip. And we are now in Spain, España. The van needs a wash. It hasn't been washed since France. It doesn't actually look that dirty because we haven't actually had any rain since France, but it's covered in sea salt and all the windows are covered in sea salt, so it's definitely in need of a wash. And what's the car wash outfit today?
Let's change to some shorts and Crocs because it was just too much. It's called the Auto Luna.
What is that outfit? It's funny. Oh! Stop it, you'll make the followers excited. So we are just on the other side of the border in Spain, near a place called Algarve. Algarve, I think I'm saying that right. And we've just arrived at our next campsite. It's just on some marshes here that have flamingos on. Like, how cool is that? And here's the camping area. So this is by far the poshest air we've ever stayed on. It has a swimming pool with outdoor showers. Like, look at this. This is amazing. This costs €12 for the night. Look at this view. And they have all these marshes here, and usually they have flamingos, but I don't see any flamingos. And there's a cycle track, and you can cycle into town along the track, and it's 20 minutes. So we've been walking along, and there's a nature reserve. Who doesn't love a nature reserve? It's nice to be out of the city, because obviously we stayed in Faro last night, so this is miles away from Faro. So we're trying to find out what these strange things are on the cactuses that I've never seen before. And apparently you can take a picture with your phone and it will tell you what it is.
Look, it does. Puntia oricola.
Puntia oricola, never heard of it.
See?
Oh yeah, and it grows like It grows like these strange purple things.
Prickly pear plants. That's what it translates to.
It's a prickly pear. Isn't that of Jungle Book, prickly pear?
Never saw Jungle Book.
We're just going to cycle into town, see what we can find.
Don't lead by example with no helmets.
No helmets, riding one-handed whilst filming.
Not good.
Not good. I'm not setting a good example to anyone. Woo! Nearly fell off. The sporty spices in town. So one of the worst bits about camping is doing the walk of shower shade from the showers back to the van in my dry robe. It's funny. The problem is the showers were so small there was no way I could get changed in there, so. The time has come to empty the toilet. This is the best job. That's sarcasm, obviously.
Even the dog doesn't want to be with
Even the dog doesn't want to come with us to empty the toilet.
Only has got me.
Yeah, we only wee in it. We don't actually be like poo in it because that would just be absolutely disgusting.
Like a walk of shame for all the campers.
Well, I did the walk of shower shame, and now you're doing the walk of toilet cassette shame.
Ah, mi chiamo Antonino. Oh, he's Italian?
Italiano. We're showing you the real side of van life, not just the glamorous side.
None of Vanlife is glamorous.
I mean, some of it's glamorous.
And the views are. Oh, the pipe's got shit on. Let me give it a little swap.
As you can see, I'm keeping my distance from it, that whole area.
The aim is we want the water that comes out to be clear.
Even Buddy's like, what is that smell? You have to add this blue liquid, like toilet fluid.
Other colours available.
Other colours are available.
Green, eco friendly.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but because we're in the heat, green doesn't work very well.
Okay, because we're in the heat, apparently green doesn't work very well, so we're using blue, which is less eco-friendly, but better for the warm climate. And today is the 8th of December. There is currently a storm at home. Storm, is it Darragh or something?
There's no storm here.
There's definitely no storm here. So this is where we stayed last night. Camping park, Playa de Luz. And there's quite a steep drive to get up, and some vans have obviously skidded all the way up. We are now driving around the outskirts of Seville to make our way down to Cadiz. And we're not going to visit Seville only because we've been there before and it was absolute chaos in the van, so we plan to drive around the outside and make our way down towards Cadiz. Look at James Bond coming in on his boat. So today is a Spanish holiday. Look at this place. All the bars and restaurants are rammed.
We only now down here.
We've had to get off our bikes because it's so busy. I'm going to give you a quick tour. So you drive up to this barrier and the barrier lifts up. It then gets your reg when you enter. You then come over to this machine here, put in your reg and pay your €13. And there's like a little seating area out here. And then there's the water point and the waste disposal. There's another van coming in now as we speak. So today, instead of the walk of shower shame, I've got the ride of shower shame, which is not only for a campsite but also around a marina in a towel robe. Okay, the shame is real right now. I'm cycling in a towel robe. Luckily I've got underwear on because the wind keeps blowing it up. These are the joys of van life. I could have showered in the van, but the shower's so small. Oh, better leg on show there. So this is why we drive down to Spain in the winter, because it just has the warmest climate. So today is the 9th of December and it's about 20 degrees and we haven't seen a drop of rain in about 2 weeks. This is the beach right next to where we're staying. Our van is just behind that mound there. And it's just miles of golden sand and turquoise waters. And this is in the town of Barbate. I'm sure they say probably Barbate, but yeah, our van is just behind that wall. So we've had our van for a year and a half, and this is the first time we've ever used the hob. And I was thinking, have I ever used this hob? And we actually haven't used this hob for anything, because we always cook in the oven, and I'd never fry anything in the van. I mean, everyone's different, but when your bed's right there, like, you wouldn't fry bacon or eggs in your bedroom at home. So yeah, I just wouldn't fry in the van if we've got our bedding and clothes in here. This is where we finally leave the Atlantic coast and we head round into the Mediterranean coast. Tarifa is the most southern point in the whole of Europe. And we've been following the Atlantic coast now for 2 weeks. And on this side, we'll be crossing into the Mediterranean, heading round to Gibraltar and up to Malaga. So on one side you have the crazy Atlantic. You can see the waves, and Tarifa's known for wind. That's why there's so many windsurfers out there and kite surfers. And then on this side, it's just the calm Med. So those mountains just across the water, that is at the north of Morocco. And it takes about 30 minutes to cross, but unfortunately we're not crossing, and we will start heading north, which we're very sad about. So between ourselves and Morocco is the Strait of Gibraltar, and it is one of the busiest waterways in the world. It is also one of the most smuggled waterways in the world, not only for drugs but also for people. So we're now back in the van, all nice and cozy, out of the crazy winds in Tarifa. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and follow next week's video where we'll be showing you the best way to visit Gibraltar.